Hey everybody, we're on the trail. Well, not literally on the trail. This is our Airbnb, which is on a farm. As you can see, it's very beautiful. There may be some cows walking by, which is pretty cool. So we're about halfway through um, our hike in Virginia. Well, not the whole state, just what we're planning on doing this trip. So how's it going so far, Jer?
Virginia is very pretty, but
Beautiful.
it's not. AI had said it's much easier than Georgia.
Mhm.
I disagree with AI. I think that
Yeah, it's not easy.
yeah,
Um,
yesterday's hike was more challenging, I think, because of there are a lot of rocks
mhm.
and things in the way that I don't think were as much in Georgia. I don't know. But we had nice weather so far.
Yeah, it's
Pretty
been
good weather.
blustery today, as you can see. I think we're going to get some rain, but today's our rest day, so that's okay. So on day one, we met our driver at Elk Garden, which is one of the trailheads in Virginia, and we he drove us to Beach Mountain Road. So our hike that day was 6.7 miles, and I thought day one was going to be the hardest because we actually had 2,000 feet of elevation. But it was kind of gradual, so I didn't really think it was that bad.
So the big thing is when you're looking at your maps, it's not just the elevation that you need to think about. That's something you need to take into consideration. But if you can tell terrain, if there's any sort of
Yeah.
a terrain, yeah,
That's why, you
I
got to
know.
write a guide. You need some people to go out there and do it and experience it and
Well,
write a
yeah,
guide
that's true.
about it. And then, people
Because
that,
elevation's just part of the story. It's not the whole thing when you're trying to determine, okay, how hard of a hike is this going to
yeah,
be or where is it going to be?
yeah. But, so day one wasn't too bad. We came back and we went to a place called the Tipsy Bear, where we had some, pub food, burgers, and it tasted good, right?
Don't eat too close to
Mm.
your walk if your stomach tends to get upset. It was delicious food, great burger I had there. However, it was like within minutes of getting off the trail and my stomach didn't like it. And so I destroyed our cabin.
Well, anyway, TMI, babe. But anyway, we have a lovely little cabin in Damascus on a farm. Just a perfect place to unwind after a day on the trail. We're really
Very
having a
nice.
good time. Okay, so day two, our driver recommended, and we took his advice. We went back to Elk Garden, and this time he drove us north on the trail. And we went to Massey Gap, which was inside of a park that was, I can't remember the name of the park now. Um,
Oh yeah, very nice. Wild horses.
so we
What was the
saw
name of that
wild
park?
ponies on the trail. So we found several wild ponies. There was another guy behind him, but I think he went somewhere. Super cute. And then we were almost done yesterday. That was yesterday. It was a little bit tough, but we were almost done. And there was a wild horse standing right in the middle of the Appalachian Trail.
He wasn't moving.
Okay. So there's actually a horse on the trail where we want to walk.
We didn't have that in New York.
Look.
Here, I'm going to sacrifice you
Here,
since you walk fast.
go walk by him, see what happens.
You walk by.
Ah.
Is he like gonna attack?
Oh, look. It's okay, buddy.
Why don't we walk?
Nope.
I'm not used to horses.
No, and he was,
He didn't do anything. I think he wanted to get fed or pet or something like that. But you're not supposed to pet them. You're not supposed to feed them.
he
So the
wouldn't
two
have,
things you're not supposed
he
to.
wouldn't have let us. Little blaster. He wouldn't have let us near him. But he was just doing his thing and we were going to go around him, but he saw us and then chose to move on.
So what's really today? Well, the scenery was really great. When we started off, it was a hard kind of. Some areas were kind of a hard hike.
Yeah.
What was that thing called? Fat Man Pass or something like that?
There was Batman Gap. So
Fat Man
there was
Gap.
this like narrow space in between a bunch of rocks. There are a lot of boulders that we had to climb over yesterday.
Yeah. So if you're going to do this particular hike, which I don't know if we properly described where this hike was or not, but I would not do it in the rain because you'll slip. there's a
very
lot of
rocky.
potential to
Very
to,
rocky.
to slip. You want
It's
to do it
really
on a
wet.
dry
There are
day.
streams. So you want to remember your good footwear with good grip on the soles. Um, so I didn't realize this looking at the map, but to get actually on the Appalachian Trail from Massey Gap, we actually had to take a side trail, and it was maybe a half a mile.
So you just said Massey Gap. Is that it? Is that it?
Well, Massey Gap is where we were, but Massey Gap was inside of this park. Um, so
What shoes are these?
I, I don't know.
No, because I want to give a plug to this.
Okay.
Because these shoes that I have, they kick ass. Seriously. They're I can go all the puddles and my feet stay toasty warm and dry. But I can't tell you what shoes these are because
Well, go to REI and get fit for some hiking boots. So, and actually,
Obos.
I'm going to do that because I have trail runners, which have been appropriate so far. But actually, because it was very wet yesterday, my trail runners are not waterproof. So I am gonna get some boots for next time we do this type of hike. I think summer trail runners will be fine, but for the colder wintry hikes, I'm gonna get me some boots and break them in before we go on the.
Yeah, you have to wear them before you don't want being on the trail to be the first time that you're doing these.
Yeah, so last night we had a pleasant surprise. Um, I was really like yesterday was tough, so we were really tired coming off the trail. But so we went out, we stayed local, and we found a place called Wilson's. And oh my goodness, like I was not expecting fine dining in a trail town, and I must say it was outstanding.
Y-
Wilson's.
Yeah, this town, Damascus, and I understand some of the surrounding towns. We're going to go check some of them out,
Yeah.
but they're really set up. They're not, just bar food and stuff like that. They've got some good restaurants, and they
Yeah.
know they're set up for hikers.
Yeah, so we're going to check out town Damascus today. They have a couple supply stores. We're going to go look. I would like kind of a lightweight sweatshirt wear under my jacket because it's going to get cold. There's a cold front coming in. We'll tell you how that went. Because even though we're bundled up right now, because when the breeze comes in, it's a little chilly, but I mean, if we were hiking in this, we'd be fine. Um, so yeah, so weather-wise, you found it was like in the 40s and 50s yesterday, and you were a little warm, right?
So you've got to gauge yourself. Some people say, "Oh, it's freezing." It depends on if you're warm-blooded or if you're cold-blooded or whatever you are. But some people, they get you got to know your own body.
And really layers because until you know how you feel. Like yesterday, I was a little bit cold if I just had my long sleeve shirt on, but I was a little too warm with my down jacket. So I had to kind of find that happy medium. And I like gloves because my fingers get cold. All
Yep.
right. So that's it for this section of the trip. We have two more hiking days. They're going to be a little bit longer in distance. Based on the map, the elevation doesn't look bad, but we've decided that I'm not good at reading maps. And so,
No, it's not that. It's just it's very hard to tell. As I said, we started this. Elevation isn't the only thing you need to consider, but be ready for anything. The
mhm,
Appalachian Trail, I think, is set up. I was saying, okay, why does it always have to go up a mountain? And Amy said, because I think that's the whole point of the
yeah.
Appalachian Trail. And then I thought they were bringing boulders in to just kind of piss me off. But
So there were a lot of rocks on the trail. And he said, why do they bring in all these rocks? I'm like, I think they they were here. And then they made the trail around the rocks.
agree to disagree.
Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, it's beautiful. We're having a good time. Hopefully the next couple days we don't get hypothermia because it's gonna be chilly, but layers. So we didn't mention that, or maybe we did, but you want layers. And that way you can add if you're cold, you can take them off if you're warm. You have to carry what you don't wear, but it's better than being uncomfortable. So, all right, stay tuned and we'll bring you more insight. I can't say expert insight, I can just say insight.
No, but probably insight when regular
Yeah,
people who
right.
go, everyone's not an expert, so they probably need this information.
Yeah, yeah. So we're doing the dirty work so you don't have to. You're welcome. All right, guys. See you next time.
Bye.